Good morning. Our topic this time is called amnesia. Okay. Have you meaning what's the meaning of amnesia, ma'am? Meaning to say, if there is a big event in our lives, we forgot about it. Can we relate it to that amnesia? If you have Parkinson disease, there's another thing Parkinson disease. And there's another thing for the old people, but I will be referring more on amnesia. So it's a for me, amnesia is, for me, there are also amnesia that you just forget, meaning forget the past, something like that. But there are my topic is amnesia as mental disorder, meaning to say, it really, meaning, based on my experience, is like, ma'am, when you talk all about those depressions, how come that you are looking good now? You're so good. You're so cool. So do you have amnesia? To be honest with you folks, I am. I have an amnesia. And in my amnesia, this is the difference between just forget about it because it's past, it's erased, like, and move on. That is not amnesia. It's just a normal forget the past. When it's bad, forget about it. Or naturally, when our lives is past already. That's why for me, I'm not a type of person that, meaning there are type of people that they always wanted to talk about their past. My past is like this. My past was like that. My past was this, and that. It's so, if you are the person that is listening, if you are, meaning for example, if you are boyfriend or girlfriend or husband and wife, if the wife or the husband is talking all about the past, it's kind of tingering. So for me, I really don't like that. Meaning for me, to be honest with you folks, I don't. And then the problem also with my partner back then, supposedly he's my husband back then. I'm shivering. I really like to, probably I really need to practice to use that words because we had married in a spiritual aspects, but I really don't know. But I mean, he really likes me to talk about what's going on in everyday situation, especially in school, what's exciting. It's like I always like that. But for me, because for that matter, is that was that he just like me to practice my English language in order to me to practice English language. Okay, so but I don't, yeah, I don't really don't like to talk about past. This is the problem with me. Is past, and for me, all my past, our past is my past. Kasi folks is beautifully. I cannot, before 2010, before I'm with my American man, my past was so beautiful for me. Okay, so now amnesia. This is the problem with you folks. All my experiences that depressions, whatever kind of different types of depression since March, I got March 11 until I have a mental sickness and disorders from March 11, 2020, and ended at November 27, 2020. Then after that, on the next day, wala. I don't know. I'm happy with my life now. But at the end of the day, in such unhappiness that it's kind of, I try to remember what had I experienced back then, because this time it's kind of influencing, meaning it was amazing. I realized it was amazing, and people can learn from me, and especially on how to recover from it. But the thing was is, if you will ask me, it was, God is good. This is the thing that I can prove to you all is there is God. There is God. God is magical. And I think for me, God is more on emotions and mental sickness. If it's mental problems, folks, that's the God's work. The rest, I cannot level him, as we can tell to ourselves that, hey, God is with us, God talked to me, something like that. When you have different types, whatever types of depressions or mental sickness, that's the right time that people or human on earth really have to appreciate those people who have a mental depressions. But the problem is it varies on the causes. Okay, it varies on the causes because there are so many people nowadays. This is also the things with human beings. There are so many human beings who are liars. Yeah, it's so easy to lie in order to deceive or whatsoever. So okay, so for me folks, mental illnesses is and disorders and sickness is a serious problem. Is a serious matter. Especially when it is since birth. That's why I am a promoter that as a parents, I think if we knew, as a parents, as a mother or father, if we knew that genes wise, we already have a genes for a natural mentally deranged genes, like talagang baliw, hindi yung, there are, I think I am gonna be also in my next video, I will also specific with are the cause, what are the causes. I will research it in Google and I will share it, what are the causes. Please subscribe to my channel folks, as I always said. I will research and share in my YouTube channel what are the causes of different types of depressions. Then i-reflex ko siya sa sarili ko in order for me to have an authority to really share with it, because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed doctor. So I'm just sharing my experiences. As my experience, I'm not lying. I'm not created it, because that's a serious problems. Plus, I'm so inspired because I'm dealing with children with difficulties and defects and disabilities. Then, na-inspire lang din ako kasi depressions, maraming mga babae dyan, tsaka mga lalaki na nanidepress. Tapos, if you are a government employees, especially in the Philippines, dignity. We are talking here our dignity, folks, eh. Our dignidad and our ego. And that's a sickness. Once it's a sickness, folks, that's why it's not just, you just say, hey, I have this and I have that. No. Make sure you assess yourself first. Do not speak to other people first. Handle your problems individually, privately, and secretly. Okay, yun ang advice ko. Now, amnesia. May amnesia ka ba? Oo. Talagang sinadya. May amnesia occurred. Na-amaze kasi ako, folks. I was so amazed because every time that I had certain depressions, after I conquered it, because this is what had happened to me last year and until today, when I have some panic attacks, if I got panic attacks, I manage myself. I strategize myself already. Because here's the thing, even the doctors, they are just a doctor. They don't know what you're feeling and emotions and your sickness. You as the person having the disorder, you are the one who will telling them, hey doctor, I have this and I have that. So as the doctor, they will just prescribe. The problem is the doctor cannot tell you that, are you sure that you have that problem? But basically or generally, you as the person who have the illness and the sickness and the disorder, you are the one that is telling them. So my concern is, as a person, do not tell the doctor first, because it's kind of deal yourself first. Study yourself and handle yourself first, because in my experience, as I can say, God is with us, or God really works. That's the very best times that you can say God is working with you, or God talks to you, spirits talk to you, demons talks to you. When you are normal, folks, don't tell to other people that, oh, demons talks to me. We human beings have a normal life. We have dreams, we have visions, we have this and that in order for us to learn and something to talk about for ourselves. Parang ang pangit naman ng buhay na gusto nyo. Gusto nyo, all the people, especially in America, no, religious leaders. I'm so thankful I'm from the Philippines. This is the thing with me. I'm so proud and I'm so thankful I hailed from the Philippines. Because in the Philippines, we are more on dignity. We are more on pride. We are more on ego. For ourselves, for our work, and for our family. Nung masama dyan, kayo, because our government is, if we are persons or Filipinos with disabilities, difficulties, and mental problems, our government will just kick us out from our jobs, and then we don't receive any disability assistance or whatsoever from our social welfare's department. We don't. So that's why I'm so inspired. This is for all the Filipinos to handle ourselves. Tsaka sayang ang buhay eh. This is the thing. Sayang ang buhay. Ang hirap maging tao. Tapos dagdagan, ma'am, ang hirap maging magpakatao. Magkano na gastos mo, ma'am, sa pagiging human beings mo. Okay, so amnesia. This was my experience. July 7, I got my oath taking. All my memories from 2017 to 2019 was really intentionally erased after my baptism on July 7, 2020. My baptism occurs umaga siya. I think around 11 o'clock in the morning. Then my memories was deleted around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That I really hugged the wife of the pastor, and I told her, "Ma'am, I forgot my past. I forgot Michael already." That's what's, and then in my brain, folks, so totally, if I will describe it, so empty. Like I don't remember anything. It seems like I came back from the age of 7. Then after that, I hugged my pastor. So the wife of my pastor, this is the thing with me during my oath-taking and pledges. I am inside the house of my pastor because I was so much overwhelmed and so much gratefulness na I cannot control the overwhelmness of gratefulness and thankfulness of what I had been through. Na naghalo, mix up, so much overwhelmed, so much praise God, hallelujah, and at the same time, so much feeling of successful and achievements. And number 3 is, oh my God, God is real. Something like that. But at the same time, I'm so afraid because I realize what had I have done. Something like that. So, in Irisha, folks, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I hugged the wife of the wife of my pastor, and I told her, but they don't know what they are expecting from me, that I had just have a like that. Oh, pero they are really good in handling many. I think they knew how to really handle so many members of them that they've been through a spirit. I would always say I really love the terms spiritual transformations, especially in my case. Kasi hindi ko talaga matanggap, folks, na sobrang talino ko lang tapos nagkaganon lang ako. In my case is sobrang talino. All I could say on March 11 to 15, I have my mental depression is intellectual to the highest level na I cannot handle my brain anymore. I cannot handle my way of thinking and my ways of ideas. It's too much for me as me to handle. Okay, so amnesia, in-erase. Forget ko na yung 2017 and 2019. But after, I think, an hour of processing the situation, after I erased, I'm back to 7 years old. You know what strikes me when I remember that? Because I came back to 7 years old, that you're like a virgin. You're like a born again. So, I realized, wait a sec, 2017 to 2019 is erased in my brain. I am a teacher. How will I teach my student? Within that year, I just started my teaching job. So ito na rin, folks. Kaya God is good, God is real. Okay? So what had I done? After that, I realized I sleep, I use my blanket. Then I told God, it cannot be that you will be erasing my memory. Parang ganun, no? Parang delusional. It's a delusional, but that's realistic of what is inside the mind of any amnesia men and women on earth. Forget the past, folks. Talagang, even my book of Lucifer, if you ask me, I don't know what I was writing in there. You process it, my groups, you process that, guys. Make it beautiful in as much as you can. Okay? No, something like that. So, mula. Tapos, ang ganda, ang sarap. That's why I always say, ang sarap ng buhay. If you knew something, if you've been through something, then you succeeded. Okay? So, yan ang masasabi. Yeah, that's the only thing I could say. If and only if you are fully aware that what was erased or deleted with you is, it must be forgettable. It must be, because it's so depressive. It was depressive. It was so past. It's a past. It's a terrible experience. It's a traumatized events. It was a traumatized life. Yung iba din, ako din, folks, I have a tendency, naturally, I created that, especially when I was a young age. If I cannot achieve anything that I like, especially like if I like a bag. So if my mother or Michael cannot afford to buy it, masasaktan ako. So I have traumatized siya inside my brain and my heart. And then, kasi parang ako kasi, folks, lahat ng bagay valuable. Pero hindi naman yung talagang pero parang sakit, it's a disorder. All I could see, it's an illness for me. Because for me, when I decided, I really think about it so many times. Or if I think about it, talagang may puso, with a heart, with a mind that is more than spirits, that really yung may ano talaga, may lights, may bulbs na what if, why, and how. And what if. It's always what if, why, and how. It's always bad. I think it's a result of in the school, the teaching is always identify and comprehend. Ito yata yung ano ko sa akin na my comprehension is normal, it's normal, pero parang yun ang, it's always, I practice that kind of strategies in order for me to really remember or to really retain any educational stuff from school. Like for example, if you are reading the story of Lamang or like for example, if you're reading, because I'm biblical, so if you're reading or watching the movie of story of Jesus, what comprehension or what is generalization I can get from that. So and it's so normal in the school. So ganyan din ako, folks, na normal. Hindi naman yung, kasi is, iba na din naman kasi yung mga tao na sobrang sensitive. If it's oversensitivity and so always talking about their past, parang iyo, ang pangit. Okay? But ako, I'm talking about my past because my past experience is really it's teachable, full of moral lessons. I'm learning myself, and at the same time, I can share it with you in order for you all to handle yourselves in a nice and a secretive and in a private manner. Especially amnesia. Talagang, folks, you erase. There's number 1, erase of my 2017 and 2019. But after that, I really pray for that they will return what is important. Ito lang din. Tapos, I was still mad against God with that situation. So, sabi ko, wag nyo munang irisin kasi that traumatic life of mine, traumatic years of mine, I will use that against, it's my weapon against my enemy. Yun ang sinasabi ko sa parang delusional, no? Okay, but I'm speaking reality. But really, God is good. They really fix something that is not painful on my part, but in my heart, talagang masakit. Now, number 2, erasures na talagang magaling yung Diyos mag-erase, guys. Yung amnesia, guys, yung sakit, controlled and manipulated by the spirits of amnesia. Laro yan nila. This is the thing. Life is a game. Life is a game. Life is a game, always a game. How you win over it, it's your individual choices, it's your individual decision makings, it's your decisions, it's your obligations and responsibilities to handle oneself. Wag yung iba naman, kasi ma'am bad, 666, self-centered, hindi. we need to learn to handle ourselves. Okay, number 2, amnesia kasi yung pinag-usapan natin. Okay, so number 2 is I will be talking about also maybe amnesia is part of guilt. So I will be reading Hebrews 10:17. Then he adds, I will remember their sins and their lawless deeds no more. Parang ganyan. Words, kaya ang sabi ko, Holy Bible has spirits, folks. Kaaway ako nila, kalaban nila ako. So ganyan sabi turo sa akin, lawless deeds daw. Number 1, amnesia is I was my 2017 to 2019 traumatic life events. Number 2, my boyfriend last year, my current boyfriend last year was erased. Talagang inerase yung, we as human being, especially me, about love. Ako kasi folks, I'm a type of person that whatever, my heart is always parang pizza. I always divided my emotions, my love. Kasi para tama yung natin, yung feeling natin. I have a boyfriend. Talagang inerase, folks. Tsaka magsabi yung spirits na I will erase that. Wipe out. Wala na akong pag-ibig sa kanya. Hindi ko na, parang i-recall ko nga na, I'm trying to recall our moments together or our conversations or how he looks or how much I really admired him. Erase. As in, totally erase. If you open my heart, if you're a surgeon, if you open my heart, wala. Tapos, I was really, really love him. Ngayon, ang maano ko lang na, ay, gwapo pala. Ay, I had a good taste with my man. Ganyan lang yung sabihin ko, folks. That's how, kaya sabi ko, relationships is a game. Marriage, especially for couple who they will say they will divorce and annul their wife and husband because they don't love them anymore. It's a game in the spirits of amnesia. Amnesia yung ginagamit ko, folks. Spirit of amnesia. Talagang you don't like them anymore. Parang when you say them, they are tasteless. Ganyan. Kaya sabi ko, it's, I don't know how to handle that. That's why know your God. Pray your God. Kasi may mga, life is a game again. Life is a game. Life is full of stories. Life is full of talagang malaman, hitik na hitik ang buhay. Can you refer that the teaching of the religions that God is jealous? Somehow, yes. So, my thing is spirits of amnesia and spirits of God is jealous. Tapos, ang ganito lang din. Because God is spirits, you cannot see the spirits, how they works. That's why, as a human being, before we decide, kasi ito yung ko na differentiates ko between God as Holy Spirits and God as humans, is that we human being, we are more on assessment. Assessment is our natural and human beings characters. Isaksak natin yan sa utak. Assessment, decision makings, responsibilities and obligations. Yung love, guys, emotions, laruin natin yan. Paglaruan nyo kasi ganito lang din. Ang ko sa love is sex. Yung if the love is lost in the games of amnesia, in the games of the spirits of jealous God, isipin mo yung sex. Yan yung panlaban nyo, folks. Ganyan ako, folks. With all my mental sickness and disorders that was punished in me, punished and at the same time teachings for me in order for me in returns for how much I care and concern for all the God. Ito lang again, I always repeat, hindi delusional I'm doing something, I'm doing something and at the same time, they are also coming with me as God in order for me to learn some things that I can be unique and peculiar and at the same time, I can earn from it. Because in the world of religion, reincarnations and salvations has no rewards. Again, I repeat, in the world of religion, reincarnation back and God has no, and conquering and finding the meaning of life and really knowing your God, knowing what is God is, know who is God is and what is the characters and faces of God. Religious world don't don't appreciate that because yon siguro ang spirits of amnesia or spirits of jealousy that created from the founders of religions, which most of them they are looking for who is God. If God is real. Okay? So, spirits of amnesia, thank you so much for teaching me a lessons. Doy, thank you so much. Tell God, I really love them. Uyak ako. Thank you for the teachings. Life is good. Every day, I'm trying to process my life. Na sobrang na ano no I'm so thankful. This is the thing with me. I'm so thankful also that within 2017 and 2019 spirits of amnesia didn't really attacks me in such a way that I will forget what is teaching, what is philosophy of teaching. I'm so thankful with my job as well that it's also parang when the time that my brain or my physical, my overall mental and intellectual depressions was really starting to take over in my whole body system, my teaching job as well is trying also to by circumstances nag-a-adapt din siya. Okay? So amnesia is real. How will I say? May mga matanda ano ba yung sakit? Amnesia, hindi Parkinson. Ano ba yung sakit guys for all the old women and men that they forget about yung may commercial sa TV na yung sa Jollibee ba yun o sa McDo. Ikaw ba si parang ganyan yung matanda. There was an old man and it's on the commercial that he don't know that is his grandson. So parang ganyan no na mga masakit sa mga matanda. Talagang it's real folks and it's very difficult. So how will I handle that? I repeat, know your God and pray that whatever what is deleted with you kasi disorder it's a sickness. So talagang no one can treat you unless that's why again I repeat, I'm so thankful that I grow up and hailed from the Philippines because Philippines is really we are more on family oriented and we are so very compassionate that no matter what happened, bayanihan system, tulong-tulong, adjust, adapt. Pero ito lang din ang maganda sa mga Pilipino. Hindi kami yung ugali ba na namimihasa, yung sa ibang ugali na ibang country that they used to it, na parang they are using their mental disorder and mental illness in order for them to not to work and not to be functional anymore. Kaya maganda sa Philippines. Okay, Philippines, ang galing natin. Okay, so now, is amnesia, I can refer also amnesia as guilt. Oo, kung guilt. Tapos, kasi amnesia nga, there are spirits that is inserted to you in your brains, talaga in-insert nila, sila yung mag-ayos. Yeah, so it really, we need to, my advice is, know your God, love your God, and at the same time, love yourself, take good care of yourself, take good care of the people around you because we don't know if we got the spirits of amnesia. Hindi na natin alam yung asawa natin. Is that my wife? Is that my husband? I don't know you. Parang gano'n. So, pangit no, pero yun ang talagang nangyayari pag mag-amnesia ka. Pero hindi naman yung, wag nyo namang gamitin yung pag-amnesia disorder to just playing around na, oh, I have amnesia. I don't know you. Parang i-pranks. Ako kasi folks na pranks. I hate pranks. Yun ang ano ko sa buhay ko. I hate pranks. Yung pinapranks ako. Pwede lang ako surprise. Especially for boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay. Now, so that's all basically folks. Please subscribe on my channel. And food. Is there any wag nyo lang ano, I repeat, I forgot. So before I leave, food, process the food intakes because food manufacturer have different ingredients that is mixed up with their products. So, nakakaano din siya sa, at the end, in the durations of time, for me, amnesia, mag-google kayo ng mga causes. I'm not a doctor, but in my case, sa akin kasi folks is, my amnesia was erased. I got an amnesia intentionally because I had a punishment. Punishment. I'm fully aware that I had a mistakes in life. I did a mistakes in life. I violated a rules in life. That's why I had an amnesia and it was deleted. So, ma'am, ano bang punishment mo bang bakit na-delete yan? Talagang dinilit ni Spirits of Amnesia. All the gods feel my emotions at nasasaktan sila. Yun lang. Kasi parang ang Diyos folks is they don't like humans. To be honest with you folks, we human beings are censored every day. Huwag tayo magtiwala ni sun. Sun spirits. Don't be confident with sun spirits and dark or night spirits. Hindi yan sila mapagkatiwalaan. Kaya sabi ko, wag tayo mag-teaching folks na God created us. Ang bastos. Parang mawawala ng respeto yung Diyos niyan. Okay, so we are created by our mother and father. And we have to be thankful with all our bloodlines. And we must ask from our great-great-grandfather or our bloodlines, especially those who been through what you call this, heroic history, like in the Philippines, we call them veterans. Mga veterano. So, ask your families who are our veterans, that our great-great-grandpa and grandma who really fought against the Spaniards, against the Americans, against the Japanese, yun, tatlo lang naman. There are three groups of aliens or foreigners that really take over the Philippines, excluding the Muslims in Mindanao. Hindi ko maintindihan yung away dyan sa Mindanao. So, just basically three foreigners or aliens who are trying to invade our country in order for us para hindi tayo magka-amnesia. Yung bloodlines natin is always recalling back, na hindi siya malalagay. They will be placed in a world of amnesia. Okay? That's basically, folks. Good morning and please subscribe on my channel.